In this video we'll see how to create student enrollment system project web application by using Django framework. So for this, what you have to do is, first you have to set up the virtual environment in your computer. After setting up the virtual environment, so in this we have implemented some basic things like home page, where you can keep some image and you can content, and you can give the new registration of the students, and here you can check the who are the students already registered, and how to search for a specific student by using their name, and if any student is going out of your campus, how to give the TC or how to drop out from the particular list, and all the things we are going to discuss in this video. So just open the command window. After opening the command window, you have to move to the directory where you have installed the virtual environment. So here I installed in H drive, and after that I have given one folder for virtual environment. The folder is PROJ. So this is the folder where I have created the virtual environment. So I have to move to the folder PROJ, cd space PROJ. So now I have moved to the folder PROJ where I have created the virtual environment. Now what you have to do is, now you have to activate the virtual environment. So for this you have to write the following command: scripts scripts activate. Now you can see this one PROJ in brackets means your virtual environment PROJ has been activated. So once you get into the virtual environment, now you can start creating the Django projects. So already we have discussed, for creating the Django project what you have to do. So for this you have to write the following command: Django-admin. After that you have to write start project, and here you have to give the project name. So here I want to give the student enrollment system, so that's why here I want to give the name, project name as the school. Yeah. So if you carefully observe the project folder, so till now what are the folders are there? These are the folders are there: COMPINV, LIB, Word project, scripts testing, some files are there. Now after running this command successfully, here you can see one folder school. So means this is the project folder what it has been created after executing the following command. Now if you open this folder with the same name of the project, one more folder will be there, that is also school. So along with that one more file is there, manage.py. And if you open the school folder, here there are 5 files are there. One is init, SGA, settings, URLs and WHA. So here we use settings and URLs only, we don't disturb the remaining files. So come back. Now by using the command window, move to your project folder. What is your project folder? School. Yeah. Now I have successfully moved to the project folder. After that, in Django, so whenever you are creating any website or whenever you are designing any web application, your whole content is divided into the different apps. Each component is called as one app. So now I want to create a app. So how to create a app? So for this you have to run the following command, like python manage.py start app. So here I am running the I am designing the website for school. In this I am dealing with the student enrollment system, so that's why I want to give the name as the app name as the student. Python manage.py start app student. So till now if you open the project folder, your project is school. If you open it, in this there are 2 files are there. Now after running this command successfully, now one more folder will be created. The folder name is student. See this one more folder has been created. Now if you open the student, so here there are some files are there, folders and files: migrations, admit, apps, models, tests and views. So this is the way you have to create the project, and within the project you have to create different apps for each component of your website. Now for our web application this much is enough. So this is the main work you have done. Now you have to get into the coding. So how to do? So here I want to access the whole folder at the same time. So that's why here I am using one editor, Sublime text editor. So by using this one, you can open the whole project at the same time. So let us see how to do. Yeah, so go to the file folder. So what is our project name here? School. So just your project folder, school. After clicking that, here your whole project will be open. Within the school, one more folder is there, school. Along with that, your app is there, student. And manage.py is also available under the school only. So here if you click on this school, so here you can find some files, AGA, settings, URLs, WSG and all the components. And at the same time, if you open the student app, here you can see that init.py, admin.py, apps.py, models.py, test.py and views.py. Now after creating the project successfully, so first open to the school folder and here click on the settings.py. So here what is the app you have created, that app should be added here. So in settings.py, so go to the installed apps and what is the app name you have created, student, that should be added to this list, student, student, comma. So what are the app you have created, that should be added here clearly. This is the very first step you have to do. And after doing this, what you have to do is, now here whenever you want to display anything in web application, that should be in the form of web pages only, so that you need web pages also. So for keeping all the web pages, you have to create one more folder in this main folder. So you have to do it manually. So come here and create one new folder. The folder name is TMPLATES. So this is the folder name. At the bottom you can see that name is coming. If you click on enter, that folder will be created. See this one, templates folder has been created. So if you go back here also, you can see this clearly, PROJ school. See this one, templates folders also has been created. Now after that, what you have to do is, so in this folder only you have to keep the web pages. So but here that folder has been created manually, so that you have to add that folder manually here. So for this what you have to do is, so here go down, so here one list is there, templates. In these templates, here you have to add the templates folder, so then only it can be recognized. So what you have to do is, for this you have to write os dot path dot join base underscore dir, comma. So what is the folder name here, TMPLATES. Templates. So this is the way you have to add that templates folder to the settings of your project. Now within this templates folder you can create the web pages. So here I am keeping the sample HTML page. So here I am giving the HTML page is home.html. Now this is the HTML file. So here I am giving the basic HTML file. Yeah, HTML. So here I am keeping the message testing. Yeah, this is the basic sample one I have kept it. Now you have save the settings file also. Now how do these HTML pages will be accessed? So for this what you have to do is, for displaying the HTML pages on the web page, you have to define some functions in views.py. So you have to go to the student tab. So in student tab you have to click on the views.py. So here you have to define the function for accessing that web pages by using web browser. So for this what you have to do is, first you have to define a function. So here I am writing def. Already we know that in Python how to define the functions. So here I am giving the function name as the show. Here I am giving the function name as show, and here this every function should have one parameter. The parameter name is req request. You have to keep it. Now so here till now I am not writing any logic. Simply I want to display that web page directly on the web browser. So for this only I am writing the code. So simply keep the return statement return return, and after that, so here you have to call the one function for drawing the web page on the web browser. So for this you have to call a function render, render. So this render function need two parameters. First one is the request object, request, and second one is the HTML file. So in templates folder you have created one HTML, its name is home.html. so same thing should be given here. So this is your task. So whenever you want to display any web pages over the in the web browser or over the internet, first you have to define one function. By using this function only you can display the web pages. Now after finishing the views, already we know that in internet whenever you are accessing anything, that can be done through the URLs only. So you have to write like this. For suppose if I click on the Gmail, it can be write like this, mail.google.com/mail/u, like this. So whole thing is called as the URL. Now so for your web page you have to specify the URL. So how to do that? So for this again you have to come out of the student app and go to the schools folder. So here one file is there, urs.py. So here you have to create the path for your web page. So what is how to create? So add like path, and in web page what is the name you want to give for accessing your web page. So I want to give the name as the home. And after that comma. So after writing the home URL in web page, so what it has to do, that should be specified here. So here whenever you have written home slash, I need to call this function. What is the function name? Show function I want to call. Where do that show function available? That is in the views.py. Views.py present in the folder student. Now what you have to do is simply write, first you have to import the views.py here. So from app name is student, then you have to import, what is the file name? Views. That Python file will be imported. Now by using that views, I want to call the function show, which is defined within the views.py. I am writing show and put comma, so that you can add later on, you can add any number of paths one after another. So like this you have to add it in the URLs. Now all the basic things setup has been completed. Now I think we hope that we can test all the things. Now open the command window again. So now you have to start running the Django server. So right now our computer is the server and our computer is the client. So now I want to run the server, I want to start running the server. Simply Python. For this what you have to do is Python manage.py run server. You have to write the following command, run server, and after that in some computers, in some versions of Windows you have to give the port number, in some versions doesn't need. In some versions by typing this is enough. In some other versions you have to type the port number on which port you want to run this server. So here I want to run on 8080. Now click on enter. See this one, it is showing some error. So join, here some error is coming in join, yeah. So go to the settings. Here I have written the join spelling wrong. And second, after templates I should not give the space. Now again try to run the server. Yeah, OS is not defined, yeah. So here I have to import one more library, that is import OS. You have to import this library. Now run. Yeah. So whenever you can see this message like http://127.0.0.18080 and quit the server with control break, means your server is running fine, there is no mistakes in your project, so everything is working fine. So now for seeing your web page, what you have to do is open your web browser. So there you can type localhost. Localhost means your the current computer. So instead of 127.0.0.1 you can type localhost. means that is the IP address of the same computer. After that, what is the port number I have given? 8080. And after that, so for accessing your web page in URLs, what is the name I have given? Home slash. So simply slash write home. Now see this one, it is showing the message testing. Actually, where I have written the message testing? In the HTML page here. In home.html I have written the testing. Now same content has been displayed on the web page. So this is how you can define the, you have to create. So whenever you want to display any web page, or whenever you want to design any content, whenever you want to show anything in the web browser by using the Django framework, so what you have to do is simply, first you have to create the project. After that, you have to create the app within that project, and you have to go to the settings. In that you have to add the app name what you have created. That is the basic thing. And after that, you have to create one templates folder for keeping the web pages, and you have to specify the path of the templates in this one. Means you have to include the templates folder in the settings, because you have created that folder manually, it is not created automatically. So that's why you have to keep it. And after finishing all the things, next what you have to do is you have to go to the app. In that you have to open the views.py. So here you have to define the function for rendering the web pages on the web browser. So here what is the function I have given? Show. So within this I have to write some logic. After finishing that, you have to create a URL for calling this function. So how it can be done? For this you have to move to the urls.py, and first you have to import the views, because views is present in some other folder. You see the Python file which is present in student folder. So that's why first you have to import this one. After that, you can give the URL name whatever you like. So here instead of home you can give anything, but here you have to specify that which function you are calling by giving this URL. You have to mention clearly. So then only that particular function can be called clearly, which is defined here. So this is the how basic things you have to do. Now whenever you want to create the real-time web application, so what you have to do, and we'll discuss now. For suppose I want to create the student enrollment system, means what I have to do is, first I need a one headers like home. Whenever you open any web page generally, so let us see some sample navigation bars. Navigation bar W3 schools. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, whenever you see any website, you can see this content like this. So this is the home, news, contact, like these things, all the things. So how to create all the things? For this you doesn't need to worry too much. Just open the W3 schools. There you can find lot of ready-made content is there that can be reused easily. So we'll see how to do. So first select your design, what you like. What you want to do is, I want to go with horizontal navigation bar. Yeah, so like this you can select anything whatever you like. For suppose if you like this one, simply try it yourself. Yeah, so here you can get the complete code of your the web page. So whole thing you can get it there, so directly. So for this what you have to do is, first Ctrl A and Ctrl C. Now go to this one. So open your HTML file, paste the whole thing. Yeah, and now open your web page here. So just click on F5. See this one. So whatever the home page you have created, it looks like home, news, contact. Like this it will show everything. Now what you have to do is now you have to change this menu bar as per your requirement. So for this what I am doing, so here come down, don't touch anything. So instead this home is there as it is. Now news. So here whenever you are going with the student enrollment system, so what are the options are there? First one is new registration. First one is new registration. Now come here and check that. So here now you can see this home new registration, and after that you can write after new registration, next one you can search for a student, SEARCH. Whenever you want you can search for a specific student. Next, so after that what are the next thing you can get? So next thing is registered. All registered students I want. Registered students. So who are registered in this portal? All the student details I want. So that is also one more option. See this one. Now here home, new registration and registered students. And after that if I want I can search for the specific student. And after that if any student has taken the TC, if any student want to move out, now you can give the dropout of the student option. That option also can be given. So Control C, and here you can write like drop out. Now look at this. So these are the options for my web page. So whenever I am creating any web page, here you can give the what are the options. It should be displayed on your site. Home, new registration, registered students, search, dropout. Now what you have to do next? Yeah, student spelling is wrong. Students. So this is the basic HTML page. So every page contains the same thing. Now so now till now if I am clicking on the home, nothing is happening. Clicking on news registration, nothing is happening. Registered students, nothing is happening. Search, no. Dropout, no. The reason is that till now you didn't write the programming. Now you have to go with the Python logics for doing the different actions here. So for this first you have to go to the views. What the very first thing you have to do is you have to do the registration. So registration means you have to take data from the user. Means user have to student has to register. So for this what you have to do is, so here in student app create one more folder, one more file. The file name is forms.py. forms.py. So this is one more file, forms.py. So by using the forms only we'll collect the data by using the web browser. So whenever you whenever you are discussing about the HTML language, so wherever you are filling the data, those things are called as the forms. So generally forms are used to collect data from the user and send it to the servers. Now here you have to create the forms for collecting the data. So how to do we'll discuss. And next one is the models. So models are used to represent the databases in your Django framework. So here you have to create the tables. So let us see how to create the tables. So actually the creating the tables is a little bit different from MySQL. In MySQL you have created the tables by using the different approach, but in Django you are creating by using another approach. So for this first you have to create. So how to create? So here you have to use the concept classes for creating the models. First you have to write the class, and here you have to give the model name, means like table name. So here I am giving the name as the stud, and here you have to create an object models.model. So this is the table name. Now in this table you can have the different fields are there, or different columns can be there. So what are those? The very first thing is s_name is the student name. So this is the first column name I want to give, student name. And how to create the column? So for this you have to write models dot. So here you have to specify that field. char field. So this is the syntax for creating the character type, char field, and here you can write max underscore length length equal to 30. So maximum 30 characters can be written. So this is the way you can create the columns in the table. So here I have created one column yes name, and after that, like this, I want to create different columns, and after the yes name, second one I want to take class. I want to take in the character field only, and after that I want to take as the address, addr address I want to take, and after that I want to take the name of the school, and after that what I want to do is I want to take the email of the student. So I want to take the email of the student. So here you have to specify the email, but here it should not be the char field, because here email format is different from the simple characters. So this is the way you can create the tables. Now, so after defining all the columns, here I have taken the 5 columns in my table. So yes name, class, address, school, email. So for each field here you have to specify the data type, like a data type. You have to keep it like this, and after that just save it. Now your model has been created. Now what are the forms purpose? Generally forms are used to collect data from the user and send it to the server. So for this what you have to do is simply you have to create the forms also here, like class so you have to define the class again. So here I am giving the name for this form is stud form. Here I have given the name as the stud form, and after that, so here I am making as a small stud form, and here you have to call the object forms dot form, but here it will show you one error, so form is not found. So that's why you have to import that one. You have to import that library from Django import forms. So Django spelling is wrong, Django forms. Yeah. Now you have to create the forms for the student. So how do forms can be created? Simply what are the names you have given, same thing just keep it here in models. So because what are the data you are taking from the forms, same data will be inserted into the database. So that's why just take it and here just paste. So same thing I want to take as the forms, but here I am not taking from the models. Here I am creating for the form, FORMS. So model means I am creating for the database purpose. Forms purpose is just for collecting the data from the user only. FORMS forms. Yeah. Now same thing here you can copy paste. Yeah. Now forms are also completed. Now after finishing all the things, you have to go with the web designing. Means you have to create the forms for collecting data from the user. So for this what you have to do is simply now you have to create one function here. So how to create that function? So diff, here I am giving the name as the register. I want to register the new student here. So here I have given the function name as the register, and here the parameter name is request. So that is common for everyone. So here function name can be anything, but that request is the mandatory object. and after that you have to start defining the form. So here I am giving the form equal to, and here what is the form name? Here I have given stud form, so make it as a capital, yeah, stud form. Now you have to call the form here, stud form, stud form. So request dot post or none, anything you can keep it, request dot post. Already we have discussed about the what is the difference between the post and get method of taking the data from the server. Now after that what you have to do is you have to display this form on the web page for collecting the data from the user. So here all the form structure has been defined here, same thing to be displayed. So for this what you have to do is first create one more HTML page here, regist register.html, HTML, yeah. So like this you have to do it. Now after that what you have to do is, so HTML has been created. Now go to the forms, not forms, go to the views. So here here that forms data has been ready. Now what you have to do is, now what are the thing you want to display on the web page, that should be defined here. So here what I am doing is simply I am writing retur and return space render. I want to render the web page. So what is the web page I want to render here is, first I have to write the request object request object comma, and what is the web page I want to display here is register. So that is the web page I want to display here. Now in this web page what I want to display, this student form, this student form. Now here I am writing form colon. So here I have to create one dictionary. Now here this form is the dictionary key which can be used in the web page for accessing this form. And here within this views.py what is the form name? form, yeah. So like this that basic concept is completed, and here I have to write register.html. So that web page should be given here. Now what you can do is, now you can go to the register.html web page. Now what you have to do is just open the register.html. So here you have to write a logic for accessing the data for the registration forms. So for this what you have to do is simply write one tag in HTML. One tag is there, form. The form tag purpose is for collecting the data from the user and submit to the server. So that's why here you have to define the form tag. So here method equal to post. So whenever you are keeping some data and posting, clicking on the submit means that comes under the post method only. You have to keep it this one, and you have to keep one more tag here for accessing the Python code here. So the tag name is %csrf_token. That should be given here, the token. Now that it can be, all the Python tags can be accessed here. Now here already I have defined one way dictionary key value. What is the dictionary key I have given here? Form. So whenever I use this key, this form will be taken here. So that's why here what you have to do, so what are the Python variables defined there? For accessing that one you have to write like this. The dictionary name should be written here, form. And after finishing that, again you have to click on, you have to close the form tag, and within the form tag you have to keep one more button for submit button. So how to do? So here you have to write one more tag in HTML tag. So button type equal to submit. and for this I want to give one name. The name is register and close that tag. So till now I have designed the web page for the register.html, and I have defined the function for register also. Now for accessing this register web page over the internet, you have to go to the URL and you have to add a path. So here you have to create a path. So what you have to do, path path, and here I am giving the name reg slash comma vie views dot registr views dot register. So like this you have to call that one. Now here you have to do one more thing. Here you have defined the database models. So whenever you have created the database model means here you have to make changes. You have to update your database. So for this what you have to do is python manage.py, like this you have to write. After that you have to write make migrations for creating the table. So till now the tables are not created, your database is not yet created. After writing this one, your tables and columns and all the things will be updated. So click on the python manage.py make migrations. See this one. So here you can see that create model stood. After that you have to run one more command, python manage.py migrate. See this one. So your table has been successfully created with all the given columns and reflected in all areas in your project. Now you can successfully run your project. So again start running your server and you can for checking this one whether it's working fine or not. Yeah, now I'm running my server. See, it is not showing any error, means till now whatever I have written, I'm following all the rules only I have written. Now here come here. So what you have to do is localhost. What is the URL name I have given? Reg. So click this one. Now it is showing some error. Stud form is not defined. Yeah. So go to the views. Here I have written the stud form. So that stud form should be defined here. So for this how you have to define is simply, for this what you have to do is simply go to the views.py. There only you have to define all the things. First you have to import from dot forms import stud form, because that stud form is not defined within this file, that is defined in another file. So that's why you have to define. Now it is showing some error, it is showing some more error. Forms, some spelling mistake is there. I have written the form spelling is wrong. Yeah, FORMS forms. Now here it is, server is running fine. Now click on the reg. See this one. Now it asks you to enter the student name, student class, student address, student school and student email, and you have to click on the register so that your data will be registered. But here the data is not getting in the proper order. So for this you have to change this order and you have to change the design. Lots of things should be changed. And one more thing is that whenever you want to click on registration, after clicking this one it should go there. So for this what you have to do is you have to give a link, create a link here. So for this first go to the home HTML and here see this one, new registration. So here you have to give that one. What is the URL for the registration? REG. Now keep it update here. Now server is running fine. Now go here. Now click on home, new registration. Wait. Now it is going here. See this one. When I click on the new registration, it is going to the registration page. But this registration page is not looking good. So we'll make changes one after another. So for this what you have to do is, if I want to keep the same design for everything, yeah, whole thing keep it in some another HTML page. Yeah, all the thing keep it in another one, another file, head, and here in templates create one file, base.html, paste, yes, base.html, base. Now when it comes to the home, and in home also keep all the content there itself directly in base only. Yeah, now in home, just whatever the code written in the base HTML, that should be included in the home directly. So for this, here you can keep one statement. The statement is like, you have to include that web page here. So for this, what you have to do is, it's very simple, percentage include, include, what is the web page name, base.html. so just keep it here as it is, and percentage. Yeah, now see this one, now here it is working fine, no error. Home, yeah, here go there, click on home. Yeah, website has been opened, click on home, it is working fine. Go to the new registration, same headings are not coming. If you want to keep the same headings for all the pages, now what you have to do is, so just copy this line, Ctrl C, and go to the register. At the top, just keep that point, keep that line. Now whenever we go to the new registration, there also you can see all the titles and bars, title headings and all the things can be visible directly without making much changes. So this is the easy method for keeping the same title bar and heading for all the pages, so that if you make changes at one place, it will be reflected everywhere. So this is the way you can register new students. Now up to displaying the form in registration is over. Now here this registration is not yet completed, so here you have to write some more code. You have to take data from there and you have to get it displayed. So for doing all the things, what you have to do, so here while displaying that, so here I want to give some more contents also. So I want to give the title for your, so here I can write new student registration, new student registration, and form also. So here, so whenever you want to display multiple things on the web page, you can create one more dictionary, context equal to, so here you can write title colon title, title, comma, and that form also can be directly given there. Yeah, so means all this content has gone to the web page, so there you can use that directly, you can use all these names. Yeah, come here, yeah, form, and you have to specify the dictionary name here, so all the content of the dictionary can be accessed over the web page. So go to the register.html, here nothing is shown till now. Now go to the register.html. Yeah, so here at the top you can write some more tag like this, like you can write title, title. After that, if you refresh, see this one, it is showing the message new student registration. But for these things, if you want to give it any titles and all the things, you can give it. So here if you want to specify in the tags, h1 tag and CENTR center, so like this, if you specify some tags, it will come like this. See this one, new student registration. So now after that, this is the way you can change all the things. For this, if you want to change this name, simply go to the views.py. So instead of new student registration, just you can write student registration. Now just click on F5, see this one, it has been reflected. So here I am using these as the dictionary values, and these are the dictionary keys. By using this title and form name only, I can access the data in HTML page. See this one here, I am using the title and form. So from where I have taken? From this context part only. So this is the way you can show the registration form, but till now this one is not yet completed. So for this, if you want to write the student details, and after clicking on the register, that should be registered successfully. So for this, what you have to do is, whatever the data entered by you, that should be saved in the database. So for this, how to write a logic? So for this, first, whatever the data you entered in the form, that should be accessed. So how to do? First, go to the again views. Now here you have to write a logic. Yeah. Now, so here first you have to check that whether all the data entered in the form is valid or not. Form dot is underscore valid. You have to call this function. If all the data in the form is valid, then you can start accepting the data. Now you can access all the data. So how to do? So for this, you have to, here I have created how many fields are there? 1 2 3 4 5. Here you have to collect data from 5 fields. So here you have to create 5 dummy variables. First one is name, second one class, second one I have taken as the class, third one I have taken address, and fourth one I want to take as the school, and next one I have taken as the mail. So like this I have to collect the data. Now how to take the data from that form? So here, so for everything one name has been given in forms.py. If you go to the forms.py, for every text field they have given name, yes name, yes class, yes address, yes underscore school, yes underscore email. So this is the names of these blocks. This block name is s underscore name, this block name is s underscore class, this name is s underscore addr, this name is s underscore school, this name is s underscore email. So by using that I have to access the data. So here how to access the data? So for this you have to write form dot cleaned underscore data. So what is that particular field name? S underscore name. What are the data you entered, that will be accessed by using this thing simply. Now this is the way I have to accept data from all the text fields. Yeah. Now here you have to change the name, and second one name is s underscore class, s underscore addr, and s underscore school, and s underscore email. You have to specify all the names exactly. So what are the names you have specified in forms.py, same name should be given here. So this is the way you have to collect data from the form. So here what are the data you entered? For suppose here I entered Ravi, class 12, address VSKP, and school NSB, and email @gmail.com. So like this I entered data. Now whole data, after clicking on the register, all this data will be transferred to these variables. So first name will be copied to the name variable, class will be copied to class variable, address will be here, school will be here, and mail will be here. So like this data will be copied. So after copying that, I have to update that data to the database. So for this, what you have to do? For this, what you have to do is, first you have to go with the models. So because data is stored in the form of models only. So what is then here class name? Stud. Now first you have to import the models here. From dot models import, what is the table name? Stud. What is the table name? that is stud. Now what you have to do is e equal to, you have to call the class constructor here stud, and here what are the values you have taken, name, class, address, school, mail. Same data should be copied to all these column names. So what is the name I have given? First one, s underscore name, s underscore name. It is the name in the database, and name is the value you have collected from the web browser. And second, s underscore class, it is the class you specified in the table, and here what are the data you have taken from the user. Next one is s underscore addr equal to, addr is the data collected from the user. Next, s underscore school, comma, not comma, equal to school, this is the data collected from the user. Next, s underscore email equal to, you can write mail. So this is the way you have to initialize all data. Whatever you have taken from the user, that should be initialized with the names specified in the table. And after that, just you have to write one more, you have to call a function p.save. By calling this function, whole data will be reflected in the database directly. After this function, whole data will be saved in this one. Now if you run this program, till now it is not showing any error, everything is working fine. Now if you click on the register, it is not showing an error, it is not going to anywhere, because so it is not showing an error means it has been successfully registered. But it is not showing anything means because I didn't specify any logic after clicking on the register. So here if I write some logic, then it will move to the specific folder exactly. So for this we will write, see this one. Now here I will create one file. So here I am giving the name ack.html, ack.html. So here I want to define a logic. So here what I want to do is simply I am removing all the things, just only title only it is displaying. After filling the data, after entering the data, and if everything is found correct, so here after saving the data in the database, what I want to do is simply I want to display some message. Which message I want to display is simply data has been registered successfully. So here ack.html, and here I am keeping the message like this, title, title, and after that colon title. Not a title here, directly I am giving the message directly. What is the message I am giving is registered successfully. So like this I am keeping a message. Now try to run this one. After entering this data, if I click on the register, it is showing one message, registered successfully. If the whatever the data you entered, everything is found correct. Now whatever the data you entered, that will be saved in the database. So this is how you have to create the registration form. So here the problem is that here this all these fields are not displayed in a proper order, so that's why you can make some logics, you can use some other crispy tags options for displaying in these tags in a proper manner. So how to do is, for this you have to, or else go with like this till now. After that we will go dot as underscore p, go with this like this till now. Yeah, so like a paragraph it is coming. So later on we'll discuss about the crispy tags. You can enter the data like this. and after that you click on register. So new registration is over. And next one is registered students, means here I want to see who are the student registered, all the students data I want to see. So how can I see this one? So for this also, again, for everything you have to define a functions. So again go back here, now go to the templates. So for displaying that existing student data, you have to create one more HTML page, existing students, existing dot HTML. So in this page only I have to display all the data. Now for this, here you have to define one more function. So for this, def existing, and object name is request, and after that you have to write the colon. Yeah, you have to keep it like this. And after this, what I have to do is, first I want to give the title on that page. Title I am writing all GISTR registered students. I can keep the title like this. And after that, what are the data in the database I want to get it. In SQL you have to write select star from stud, all the things you have to write, but here it's very easy. Simply you have to write one statement, query set equal to. So here what is the database class name? Here in models, what is the class name? Stud. So simply here you can write the statement stud dot objects objects dot all. So by keeping this statement, all the rows from the table will be fetched, and after fetching that you have to send it to the web page. So how to send it? Simply again context, you have to create one dictionary. One is for title, title. So what are the title you have specified in this variable, that will be sent there. And after that, query set, query set, query set equal to, yeah. So this is the data, this is the dictionary to be sent to the web page. So for this, again what you have to do is you have to render. So how do rendering will be done? Simply go to the return return and call a function render, and in this the very first parameter should be a request object, comma, and so what is the web page file name? Existing dot HTML is the web page, comma, context. So this data will send to the web page. So views logic has been completed. You fetched all the data and sent to the web page. Now you have to write a logic in existing.html for displaying the data. So for this, what you have to do is, here simply you are showing the data only, except that you are not doing anything. So here data should be displayed in the form of table. So for doing this, what you have to do is you have to use the HTML tables. So then only the data can be displayed correctly. Now first, here I want to create a table. So first create the HTML table. In table, first I want to create the table heading. So what is the table head I want to create? So tr is for the table row, and next table data. So the very first thing is serial number, means how many students are registered, and second heading is student name, and third heading is student class, and fourth heading is student address, student address, and next one is school name, and next one is student email ID, registered email. So this is the headings I want to display on the screen. tr, and I want to close the heading part has been completed. Now what I want to do is I want to display the data from table to the web page. So here whenever you want to write the Python logic and Python variables, here it should be written in these tags percentage, and in between these things you have to write. Now you can use the same for loop here for k in query set. So here query set means if you go to the views.py, whatever the data you fetched, all data are kept in the query set variable only. That variable has been sent, so that can be accepted here. Now go to the existing. Now here I want to create the table table body. So table body, go here, and here create one row every time for each student. So first thing is you have to write is for loop COUNTR. So obviously it gives the number, so you doesn't need to worry about the serial numbers. It will be automatically taken for each row in a for loop. Next thing is what I want to take is I want to take the student name. So here in database, what is the student name variable? S underscore name, S underscore class. Same variable names can be used because that whole rows will be fetched there. So here what is the for loop variable? K. So that's why k dot s underscore name should be given here, and after that again td, and after that again you can write k dot s underscore class, and after that again k dot s underscore addr, that is the next variable, and again after that so k dot s underscore school, that one is also completed, and last one is td, and here you have to write k dot s underscore email, and close this. Now you have to close this one and close the table body, and finally close the table. So this is the way you have to write a logic for displaying the data from the database. Now here almost everything has been cut and all the logic has been completed. So now after this you have to create the URL for existing. Now again you have to go to the urls.py. So register is over. Now you have to create a path for existing. So what is the function name here? Existing. What is the URL name I want to give is exist. I want to give the name. URL name is exist. Now go to the base.html. So there specify all the links. So registration is over. Registered students means here you have to specify that existing. Yeah. Now if I click on the home, simply here click on home. Site cannot be reached, maybe some error. Student views no attribute existing. Wait, maybe some error is there. Existing. Yeah, here spelling mistake is there. Existing. Yeah, now it works. Yeah, now it is working. And one more thing, in base.html, so give the home folder URL also as home, so that every time doesn't need to type home and home. So now click on home page came, new register. So here you can see that all the registered students. So here when it come back to that views, so here I have defined one function for getting all the existing student details, and by using the student is the table name, or also called as the class name dot objects dot all. So by calling this function I get all the registered student details, and, and by using this dictionary I am sending the data to the existing.html. So for this HTML, here we have written the logic. So here I have written the for loop. So this is the starting point of the for loop, and here ending point of the for loop should be mentioned like this. And within this, in loop, every time by using the loop variable k, every time I am getting the fetching one field, I am displaying on the table. So this is the way the data will be rendered on the HTML page. So this is the way you can fetch the data and display. And next we'll see about the search. So search means, here what you are doing means, here you are trying to search the details of the specific student. So how to do? So again, let's come back. So go to the views, and for searching for a specific student, here also you have to define a function. So how to write is def, and here I am using the function name as the search, and here also I have to use the request as the object. Now, so after that, so for this what is the title I want to display, that should be mentioned here. Title equal to search, SEARCH, search student. So you can keep it. And after that, what you have to do is, you have to search for the data. So how do you search? So for this, already you have to go to the search HTML page, and here you have to create the forms also by going to the forms.html. So let us see how to do. So first, for searching means, here you have to ask the user to enter the data for search. So that's why you have to go to the form for taking the input from the user. So here, class, here yes form. So this is I am using for the search form or dropout form, anything searching for the specific student. And here I am writing form form. So and after that, so here on which basis I want to search? I want to search based on the name only, or else if you want you can use the email. So here I want to search by using the name only. So here I have created the form like this. Now when it comes to the, again come to the views.py and go to the top, from the form along with the stud form, import yes form also. So what are the form you have created just now? So here what is the form I have created? S form, capital S. So the same thing should be mentioned there. And after that, again come down. Now go with the logic. So here I have to go for the search. So first you have to create the form object like earlier. So create form equal to yes form. So like this you can write it. After that, here you have to pass one parameter, request dot post or none, anything, just you can keep it. And after that, again what you have to do, so whatever the student the data they have entered in that form, that should be fetched here. So how do you check? If form dot is underscore valid, if data entered by the user is valid, so then only you have to go with all the search options, otherwise you can leave it aside. Now I entered like this. Now after the search finding the data is valid or not, now we have to retrieve the data. So how can I retrieve? Name. So here I have to write form dot clean it data. So here what is that field name? S underscore name. So means by using this concept I found out the data. Now after that, what I have to do is, I have to filter the students data. Means by using the, in SQL you are using the where condition for searching the specific data. So here you have to use the filter. So how it can be done? So for this what you have to do is, so final search name is equal to, so what is the table name here? Means class name, model name, that is also called as the model name. So model name dot objects dot filter. So filter generally used for the searching based on the condition. Yes underscore name equal to name. So wherever the name has matched, those particular rows will be fetched and it will be assigned to the variable NAM. Now after this, what you have to do is you have to set the context. So how you can set the context? Simply here you can write like this: context context equal to so initially you have to give the title, and for this already one name has been given, title, and after that next thing we have given the form, so which is to be displayed on the screen for taking the data from the user. So those things are finished. So now same thing should be rendered on the screen. For this what you have to do is return render request comma. So for searching that, here I have to create one HTML page again, search dot HTML and context. Now same thing should be displayed, and here I have to remove this one. So this is using for displaying the blank form for accepting the data. Now we will write the logic and we will show you. And after that, after searching the students, what we have to do is, let us discuss. First let's create the one blank form here, new file. So here search dot HTML, so existing dot py, same thing. So same form, here you can write search, search. Now for this search form you have to create the URL. So how you can create the URL? First, so go to the URLs, so existing is over, and now Ctrl C and Ctrl V, and here you can write search, search, and here instead of existing, what is the function name I have given in the views? The function name is search. Now like this all the things are completed, and now go to the base.html, base, so now here search, here give the URL link, simply here you can give search. Now let's check that whether server is running properly or not. Without any error it is working fine. Now go there, home, working fine, new registration, registered students, and search. So here it is asked to enter the student name. See this one, for creating this blank text field in forms.py I have created that one, I have created this one. So if I go to the search.views, so here I have written this context, title and form. See this one, this title and this form submission both has done by using this logic. Now after entering the data in this form, I'll write Ravi. If I click on search, then what it has to do, it should display the particular student details. It should display particular student details only. So how it will display? So for this what you have to do is, now here you have to write some logic. So first, after finding out the name, you have to search. So again you have to write the query set, query query set equal to, now again same thing, do it. So here doesn't it, here write query set equal to name. So particular data has been fetched. Now create the context, another context here. So here what is the title, because here I am doing the search, so here also context can be given as the title, title, and here query query set colon, here you can write query set. So like this you can create. And after that, so here I am writing the logic for displaying the records which is searched. Now you have to render again. RETU or return or render request comma. Now here you have to give the HTML, in which HTML you want to render. So here already we have written some logic for displaying the student's record. Now you can display on the existing .html. So here what you have to do is, here simply you can type existing .html comma, and you can give the context. Yeah, now save all the files, and now go back here. Now search for Ravi. See this one, it is displaying the details of Ravi. So do with another registration. Now you come to know that. So here Anil, class 11, address Vizag, school KV, email abc@gmail.com. Now if you click on the register, that student has been registered successfully, and if you click on the registered students, it is showing the Ravi and Anil. Now if you want to search for the specific student, so here if you type Anil, now here you can search the details of Anil only. And again if you click on the search, and if you type Ravi, and here you can fetch only details of only Ravi only. So this is the way you can implement the search logic. And after that, and your next logic is dropout. So dropout means you are deleting the student who want to remove from your school. Say who is taken the TC, and all the details can be implemented. So for that also again you have to define one more function, but logic is almost same but little bit difference. So you can keep the same logic here. So search form is also there, up to here it is same, but when it comes to query set object.filter, yeah, so here we are not displaying anything. After finding the students data, what you are doing is filter dot delete. So call this function, and here what you are doing, here instead of rendering something, here go to the ask.html, and here you can give something like title. So here you can give an acknowledgement like this, that student details has been deleted, or here you can like that, student removed from your database, student removed from your database. So like this you can keep it. But here what I am doing the dropout. So that's why for this you can write, you have to define the function dropout. So here what is the form name here, dropout form. So this is the dropout form. So here what I am trying to do is, here I am trying this by using this concept, I am trying to get the, I am asking the student details for remove from the school, and after that here, after the name is valid, you are searching for the particular student and you are deleting that particular record. Now, so for dropout also, for taking the data from the user, you have to define one HTML. So for this what you have to do is, go to the templates, create new file, and so drop.html, copy the same code. So here what you have to do, simply click on, keep the message dropout on the button. So generally this message is for what is the message to be displayed on the button only. Now after doing this, next what you have to do is, you have to create the URL. So how to create the URL? So come to the, again go to the urls.py. So here that function name is dropout. Function name is, here simply write the function name drop out, and here The URL name what you are giving is simply I am giving the name as the drop. I am giving the URL name as the drop. Now after that, come to the main base.html for creating the links. So open base.html, and here for dropout also just create your hyperlink. Yeah, drop. Yeah, so like this create your hyperlink. Now open the server. Yeah, everything is working fine. Everything is working fine. Yeah, no errors. Now you can open this one. Now home, new registration, register student, search, and this is the dropout. So here what it is doing, so I want to drop out some student Ravi. Now if I click on the student removed from your database, one message will come, and again if you click on the registered students, Ravi details are not found. Ravi details are not found. So that should be taken. This is the way you can remove the data from the database. Now here somewhere some drop, yeah, drop.html, yeah, good. Now dropping also has done. Now and your next thing is, so now once check that whether website is working fine or not. So home, new registration. Now I am doing for another student, Varun, class 10, address AKP, school DPS, email ID xyz@gmail.com. Now click on register. That student has been registered successfully. Now if you click on the registered students, you can see the Varun details, and if you go to the search and if you type the Varun, yeah, now click on the search. Now Varun details has been getting displayed, and you go to the dropout. Now try to drop out that whether Varun has been removed from your database or not. Varun, and click on search. Now here the student removed from your database, so everything is working fine. Now till now all the functionality is fine. Now we want to change the outlook of your website. So here actually this data is not displaying properly. Here this is displaying in one corner, so all the things are not clear. So now we want to change that thing. So how to do? So for this we have to go with a little bit web designing. So go to the HTML concepts and CSS. By using all the things you can change all the outlooks. For suppose here this one is coming aside. If I want to make it a center, simply here, so here keep the center tag after the form so that everything will come center. Yeah, so everything came center. Now so in the same way for all the details you can keep it like this. Whatever you want to display center, table, so table align equal to CN center. And if I want to give a border, if you want to give a border for your table, border, you can give the thickness for your table. So if you go to the register students, now data has been displayed in a tabular format in center of the page. And if you want to go for the search, here it is displaying a corner. Now if you want to display it as center, so here search form, so here this center tag should be come here. Yeah, keep the center tag here. Now see this one, search form came center. Here you can enter the student name for search. Now after that if I want to go for the dropout form, same thing. So here also go to the drop.html. So this remove, keep the center tag at the end. Yeah. Now here in dropout also the form came to the center. Search student, dropout, registered, and new registration, and this is the home. Now at the top of the page if I want to keep some title, so first go to the base.html. At the top you can give the title. So here you can give it directly. Yeah, here you can write student enrollment system like this you can keep it, and here you can give the center as the alignment to the center you can give. Yeah, now if you click this one, so at the top you can see this one, your website title came student enrollment system. After that this menu bar came, so everywhere you can see this clearly. See this one, in all the pages the title came student enrollment system. Now that one is also ready. And your next thing is here, instead of S name, if you want to display the student name, class address and all the things I want to do. So for this what I have to do? So for this what you have to do is, it's very simple. First you have to go to the model or forms. Yeah, here I am displaying this content by using the forms. That's why first go to the forms.py. So here after that, after writing the max length, now here you can give the label equal to, here you can write that student name, and here like this you have to give label. So what is the name to be displayed on the screen? So here what I want to display is class, and here what I want to display is ADD address, and after that, so here SCHO school name, and here comma student email. So like this I want to keep it. Now here also I want to keep this one, comma student name. Now you can clearly see this one. If you come to the new registration, site cannot be reached, some error. Yeah, here some mistake is there. I think that mistake has been read. Student email, some mistake is there. Yeah, here two commas are there. I have to keep only a single comma. Here also I have to keep single comma. Yeah, now server is working fine. Yeah, see this one, student name, class, address, student school name, student email, and here also it is showing the details clearly. Search also here asking you to enter the student name. Here also it is showing the student name clearly. Now, so all the basic things are clear. Now here while filling the details, so we have to think about some technical issues, like for suppose if student is already registered, for suppose if the same student is registering again, then you have to show some error message. So how to do? So for this what you have to do is, again go to the views.py. So here go up, and here what you have to do is, yeah, so this is the registration. In registration, so whenever any new student is registering, then you have to do one more extra task. So you have to search for the email again, whether that email has been already exist or not. So I am doing with this one. For this what I am doing is stud.objects dot filter s underscore email equal to mail entered by the user, that has been matched or not, you have to find it. So how, whether you are searching for that, is there any student present with the given mail already or not. For suppose if student is present, means that length should be more than 0, number of records. So obviously that data will be in the form of list only. So that's why here I am checking that if len of email, here I am getting the list of the records is greater than 0, means already that particular record has been exist. So what I have to do, simply here I have to return, so here instead of registered successfully, I have to give some dummy message like this. Student already exists. Try with other email. So like this you can keep a message, error message. For suppose if everything is fine, means that email is not exists, means the student is the fresh student, so that you can change the alignment and everything is as usual, it works fine. Now let's try. Here go to the new registration. So already here which email it is already there, abc@gmail.com. Now click on the new registration. So here student name is, I am entering the Srinivas, class 9. Here address is VZM and school name is Vignan and email ID abc@gmail.com. Now if I trying to register, let us see what happens. It is showing that student already exists, try with other email. Now if I come back and if I change the email ID like XYZ, now you can see it is showing that student has been registered successfully. So this is the way you can filter out that. So if student is already registered, you should not register again, you should show some error message. In the same way, while searching a student, for suppose here if I want to search, if that name should already exist, then only I can search. If that name is not available and still you are trying to search, here you may get some issue. So that's why here what are the names are available here, Anil and Srinivas. So for suppose here I entered Ravi, so what it is showing, it is not showing anything. Instead of doing like this, it should show some error message like the student is not available or enter valid name. So for this what you have to do is go to the search. So here where the search logic has been implemented, so here search logic has been implemented, query set. So here what you have to do is simply, here I am performing the search operation. Simply we have to find out that how many records has fetched. So here if len of query query set greater than 0 or double equal to 0, means its meaning is that no student found with the given details. So here instead of existing HTML, so I will go to ack.html acknowledgement. So here I'll write title, title, and here I can type a message, student details not found, please enter correct data. So like this you can keep some error message. Now go back here and go to the search again. Now here try to enter some name, Ravi, and if I try to search, show the message student details not found, please enter correct data. So here instead of Ravi, if I enter Anil, now here it is successfully searching the Anil data. So means if any student data is not found, you should show some error message. So in the similar way, when you come to the dropout, so here also you have to do it like that only. So here, so for search already we have done. For dropout also first you have to search the data. So after that only you have to remove. So here if data is found, you are deleting. If data is not found, so what you have to do? So that is also issue. Now here after finding the data, First, same logic you can write here. What are the logic you have written, same logic can be kept here. Yeah, same logic you can keep it here. Student details not found, else else. So here what I am doing, here I am searching with the name. So if data is not, if data is found, you are deleting. If data is not found, simply you have to display the same message, student details not found. If len of query set double equal to 0, return and all the things. Again let's go back here, drop out, and here I am trying to display Ravi, and here it is showing that details not found. So let's see the registered students Anil and Srinivas. Going to the dropout, and here I have typed Anil. Now if I click on the, so student removed from your database. So this is the way you can drop out from your database, and almost all the functionalities has been implemented clearly. But in home page, if you want to keep any content, or for this what you have to do is you have to go to the home.html. So just to the home.html. So in body here, whatever the content you want to keep it, just simply can keep it by using the paragraph tag. So in between place some content, whatever you like, whatever the matter you want to keep it, so just keep it here, and that will be reflected here. So about this one, so here if this data is not looking, so and below that if you want to display any student enrollment system emails and all the things, you can keep it at the top. So for this what you have to do is, for those files are called as the static files, which are already stored in this computer. So for this, if you want to keep any images, if you want to display any image on the web page, so for this open the main folder. So here create one more folder, sorry, not the file, sorry, yeah, no. So here what you have to do is, here you have to create the new folder, and that folder name should be, make it as a static. So like this, create one folder, and in this, for storing your images, create one folder. There are the different types of files. So for images I am keeping this folder. Now in this folder I want to keep some image. So here enrollment system, some image I found it on internet, I want to keep this one. Yeah, open image in new tab. Yeah, and I want to save this image. PNG, enroll system. So here where it is storing, so first for this you have to go to the project folder. Yeah, here project folder, what is the project name, school and static and images. So here you have to save your image first. Now I want to insert that image in your web page. So for this, before that you have to make some changes in the settings. So here what you have to do is, first you have to go to the school settings. Here already I have given the static URL. Now what you have to do is, here you have to give some path for the static files dir. So here what you have to give is static files files underscore dirs. So that should be given here, and open the brackets, and here you have to give the path os.path.join, and here base underscore dir, and here you have to give that folder name. What is the folder name I have given? Static. The same thing should be kept it here. So this much is enough for you. And after this what you have to do is, wherever you want to display that static images, so in that page you have to keep this tag. So for after that what you have to do, go to the templates and go to the home. So here I want to keep this one, that's why I keep the following statement, load load static. So like this you have to keep it. so that that folder will be included here. And after that, so here if you want to display any image, so here I want to display some image, so that's why here I have to use which tag, I have to use the image tag, and src equal to, so where do that image is present, first in double quotes, first I want to include the static, I have to write the following logic, after percentage I have to write static, and after that you have to give the location, what is the folder name, image slash enroll.png, so that is the file name, and again press and close, so that is the image source. And after that what you have to do is, here you can give the width and height, width equal to 100%, or else you can give some points, width equal to some 500, and height equal to some 300, so like this you can specify that. And again if you refresh this, so here directly that's it is showing that site is not reached, yeah, some error came, some trailing comma, yeah, so go to the static settings, somewhere there is a mistake, so go to the static file settings and static files dir os dot, so here there might be some mistake is there, yeah, here after that I have to keep some comma, yeah, now server is running fine, see this one, that image has been loaded successfully. And if you want to give some alignment for our image, so now go to the home.html, so here you can give the alignment as the center, and here also I can close the alignment. Now come back here, see this one, what is an enrollment, all the details can be seen here. And still if you want to give some space at the beginning, so simply I can use the BR here. Till now I don't want to confuse, that's why I'm not using all the CSS and using all the things are not using, simply I'm explaining with the basic things. So like this you can give something, what is an enrollment system, all the things you can keep it, and after that you can navigate through all the different tabs for performing all the different operations. So this is the way you can do some basic projects by using the Django framework. I hope that everyone is clear, and in next video I'll make I'll by using the more number of images and more static files, CSS and CSS files, all the things, so we'll try to design with a nice Django project. So if you have any doubts you can ask here, so that we'll discuss in more detail, and thank you.